EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Third and long, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now the Texans want to call another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Here's Matt Bosher now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan, man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, a 6-yard touchdown run, and the Falcons have taken the early lead. Ryan Saxter point up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Richmond. Come back.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Thomas, the intended target.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Going to give to Freeman on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards.
Tuesday.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
11.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. Forced out to his left. And he's got it. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll look to run with Freeman. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. It's Coleman here. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Lamar Miller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, it's Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence, because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 61 yards. And the Texans draw a bit closer. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed, because let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. It usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. The Falcons on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Freeman. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. On first down, Ryan. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here's Ryan to throw. Complete to Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Now a first down throw, Watson. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, Watson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. Now, despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Freeman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. He finds Coleman. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A final shot before break. Ryan, he's going to sling this deep down. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And 3 interceptions in this game, and I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. On 1st down, Watson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Takk McKinley able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
Black down in our Philly. Tiger. Richmond. 2 jet. Come back.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Throw left side complete to QT. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Watson. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 23 yards on the play.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. Watson to Hopkins for a huge hookup, 43 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Down! Blue 80! Blue 80! Tiger!
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down.
Come back! Come back! Come back! Come back!
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Two jet!
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Come back! Come back!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And putting on the board, it's 6, a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 14. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the 2nd half now. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Back now in Houston, all square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the 4th quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
On 1st and 10, Watson underneath for Miller. Shows off the quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On second down, here's Miller. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Richmond.
Here's Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They'll run it again with Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now it's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Watson dumps it complete to Miller. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Miller. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime? Have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
He's back to throw. Gets it off to Freeman. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Ryan now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to him in open space and let him do what they do.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Back to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still... You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.